Hello traders, this is a live trade recap of trade 99 of the Top Gainers trading plan. I normally don't publish these videos, but this one was a really interesting trade on FNGR. There were two consecutive halts, and we were in the trade right before the first halt, and we held through the other two halts, and our profit target was hit. I'm going to show you all of that live, talk about some emotions that I felt during the trade and how I do not react on those emotions because I have a trading plan and I have trading discipline that I've developed over the years. So it doesn't matter what I see in front of me, how crazy the trade looks. I just stick to the plan. I follow my rules, and that's that. So, and I collect the data and I look at the results long term, and that's when I make changes. If I see a 100 trade period where we weren't profitable, then we start talking about changes. You do not change anything in the middle of a trade or even in the middle of a week of trading. You really want to have a large sample size of 100 trades or more of doing the exact same thing, and then after those 100 trade set is done, then you can look at the results and decide whether or not you need to change something. So otherwise, you're just trading on emotion, you're trading by feel, and there's no way to replicate that or duplicate that. And as things change, you're just not going to know what's happening. So anyway, here we are with FNGR. One thing that was interesting about this stock was the fact that it is right near that $5 level, and that is where the hotkeys kind of tend to work better in Webull because there's no decimal place, no extra decimal place. On the $5 stocks, right? $5 and above, it looks just like normal stock prices where you have one place for the dollar and two decimal places for the cents. But whenever you go sub $5, you have 3 or 4 depending on whether it's below $1 or not. Now that creates some issues with the hotkeys. They don't always work really well. This one was right around the $5, so my plan was to try to use the hotkeys and then have the trade widget ready to execute if I needed to. Now, as far as how I pick this stock, it's the same way that I pick it every day with the Top Gainers trading plan. We look for the first stock that breaks over the previous session high, and whichever one does that first, that's the one that we trade no matter what. And today that was FNGR. I knew absolutely nothing about this stock. I wasn't going off any hype or news or anything like that, just off of the Top Gainer screener and what the chart showed me. And that was that it was breaking out through its previous session high. So now I'm just waiting for a pullback, and this is on the 1-minute chart. And as soon as we get a pullback and a 1-minute candle makes a new high, then we can get in for a trade. So as you'll see, this thing just kept going up and up and up and never pulling back and never giving us an opportunity to enter. And this brings up another emotion that you feel when you see something run up in kind of such a linear fashion like this. You're thinking, well, inevitably it's going to top out and it's going to reverse and crash, and you're feeling like this is not a good trade to get into. But again, I don't react to any of that stuff. I just follow my trading plan, and my trading plan says as soon as we see any sort of pullback, which that happened on this candle, if the next 1-minute candle makes a new high, even though we are near the high a day, I have to get in, as crazy as that may seem. That's just what the trading plan tells me to do. So I do it, and then after 100 trades, we figure out, did it work or not? And sometimes it works on individual trades, and other times it won't work in the long run. So that's what we're going to be talking about later on this week once we get to the 100th trade. Now, here's the entry, and this was a very interesting entry, so let's back it up a little bit. So the high of this candle, this red candle here, was $4.95. So I'm watching the price bubble, and I'm looking for anything higher than $4.95. If I see $4.95.1, I get in. So that's what I'm looking for right now, and I have my fingers on the hotkeys. And I also have this ready to be triggered to if the hotkeys don't work. So let's watch the price bubble. I'm looking for anything higher than $4.95. There it goes. As soon as I see it, I trigger my hotkeys, and you can see we caught a lot of slippage. Now that has absolutely nothing to do with the trading platform. Maybe a little bit to do with my hotkey execution. If I would have gotten in as fast as humanly possible, I might have gotten 512. But I still would have gotten a lot of slippage because there was a ton of buyers waiting at that same level to get in. There were probably a lot of orders already placed, just waiting to be triggered, just waiting to be filled. So you're getting in with that kind of momentum and rush of orders coming in. So of course, you're going to get pushed up to a higher price, and that's what happened here. And again, there's another opportunity for emotion to creep in because you're thinking, wow, I just got a ton of slippage and my stop loss is still in the same place it would have been if I would have gotten my 496 fill. So now what that does is increases the risk of the trade, meaning that we can stand to lose a lot more if it does come down and hit our stop loss. But because I have developed the discipline to follow my trading plan, I don't worry about any of that stuff. I just stick to the plan, do what the plan says, and it says to set my profit target at 3 times that risk. So that's where we get that 619 from. You can see now that we're in a halt. We've been in a halt here for a little bit, and we're just waiting for this thing to resume. So I'm going to fast forward a little bit. And again, the halt itself is another opportunity to start second guessing and questioning the trade and saying, wow, this thing just went up with a lot of movement. It's bound to come back down and, we could get stopped out. So let me move the stop loss. Let me try to get out of the trade, whatever. I don't do any of that stuff. I just stick to the plan and then collect the data and analyze it after that 100 trade period. So fast forwarding now. And what's going to happen, what you're going to see, this only happened on the first halt resumption. And this is something with Webull on the 1 minute chart is that if you stay on the 1 minute chart during a halt resumption, there's going to be chart lag, which means the chart's not going to respond for the first about 5 seconds. And you'll see the price change here, and you'll know that, okay, we're out of the halt. It should happen in just a moment. Let me fast forward, see if I can find it here. Okay, let me back it up to where, okay, there you see the price start to change. That's because we're out of the halt, and then you're going to see the chart respond in just a moment here, and it's going to go right back into a halt. There we go, 591, and now we're in a halt again. So this thing resumed for about 15 seconds. That was it. 15 seconds, it went from the previous halt to another halt. And now, again, here's another opportunity to feel a ton of emotion where, wow, this thing just went up so high and it got near my profit target, but not quite. It's so likely that it just opens up and crashes. And believe me, those are all feelings that I have or thoughts that I have, but I do not react on them because I don't care if the profit target gets hit or the stop loss gets hit. All I care about is that I stuck to the plan so that my data afterwards is actually meaningful. So let's fast forward and see what happens on the halt resumption. And this time I don't think there was any chart lag on the 1 minute chart, which is unusual. Okay, so here it happens so fast. Let's go back to, now we're about to come out of halt. You'll see the chart move and the prices move at the same time, I believe. And it's only out of the halt for a few seconds before it hits my profit target. So there we go. Now we are hitting the profit target, and that's it. So this thing went to 620 and our profit target was at 619. So definitely got lucky there. But again, I mean, is it luck? I just followed my trading plan and I did what it said, and that was it. And things worked out. Now, if let's say it didn't hit the profit target, where would we be right now? I believe we would still be in the trade. Actually, it's coming down near the stop now, but we would still be in the trade. The stop loss was at 479, but more than likely this thing is going to hit where our stop would have been, but we don't have to worry about that. We got our 3-hour profit target and we're out of the trade. So hopefully this is a good example. I'm not trying to say that this is a great way to trade as far as the entry and the way that I pick the stock. We're going to talk about those results later in the week. But what is great about what you saw here today is we got a positive result because we stuck to our trading plan. And that's really the key message. And that's not always going to happen. You could have a profitable trading plan and you could get negative results, but it's always better to just stick to the plan and then collect the data from the results and then just look at those results over time to decide if what you're doing is working. If you're trying to kind of guess your way through the trade, I think that eventually you're going to probably blow up your account because you're going to be trading based off emotion and feel, and none of that is reproducible. And every single day you're going to do something different and you won't have any idea of what you're doing is really working or why it's working or anything like that. So that's my thoughts on trading. So hopefully this video was helpful to you. I thought this was a pretty interesting trade. We were only trading with about $100 and we made $18.88 off of that trade. So it was slightly lower than $100. So it was about a 20% increase. Here you can see the FNGR, and that was our only trade today. So about a 20% winner on one single trade with about $100. So Really happy with that result. But again, we're going to go over all the results of the Top Gainers trading plan very soon. Tomorrow will be the last trading day because we only need one more trade. So it's coming up quickly. So anyway, hopefully this video was helpful to you. If it was, hit the like button. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment section below and I'll get back to you. As always, stick to your plan no matter what. Always take your stop losses, honor your profit target, and in the long run, you should be green. Take care.